Does anyone want to start us off? This is Exodus chapter 25, verse 1.
I'll start us off.
Thank you, Ruth.
The Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, "Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts from me, from every person whose heart is so moved. And there are the gifts that you shall accept from them: gold, silver, and copper, blue, purple, and crimson yarns, fine linen, goat's hair, tanned ram skins, dolphin skins, and acacia wood. Acacia, sorry. Oil for lightning, spices for the anointing oil and for the aromatic incense. Lapis, lazuli, and other stones for setting, for the ephod and for the breastpiece. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them, exactly as I show you the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all its furnishings, so shall you make it." Before we go on,
wait, hold on, guys. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. Marco, can you go up a little tiny bit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're in the middle of the desert, right?
I got you.
Where are we going to get dolphin skins?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
That's a good one.
No idea. I have no idea. But
that's a good one.
At Macy's.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Ruth?
This is where I have to believe that God does some type of intervention.
That's right. How do you get a dolphin skin? It's amazing.
But I had another comment to make about this.
Yep.
You see where it says breastplates? You notice on our Torah, we have the breastplates. Yeah. And I think that's where it comes from. I'm not sure, but
no.
No.
The breastplates that they're talking about in here are the breastplates that the high priests would wear with the 12 stones.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do now.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay. I thought that was the same breastplate that's on top of the Torah, but okay.
And in fact, in 7:25:7,
yeah,
lapis lazuli is one of the precious stones.
Yes, I know that's one of the stones, but I didn't know that it came. Okay, now I understand. Okay, we'll continue. They shall make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. Overlay it with pure gold, overlay it inside and out, and make upon it a gold molding round about. Cast 4 gold rings for it to be attached to its 4 feet, 2 rings on one of its side walls and 2 on the other. Make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Then insert the poles into the rings on the side walls of the ark for carrying the ark. The poles shall remain in the rings of the ark. They shall not be removed from it. And deposit in the ark the tablets of the pact, which I will give you. You shall make a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. Make 2 cherubim of gold, make them of hammered work at the 2 ends of the cover. Make 1 cherub at one end and the other cherub at the other end. Of one piece with the cover shall you make the cherubim at its 2 ends. The cherubim, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, shall have their wings spread out above, shielding the cover with their wings. They shall confront each other, the faces of the cherubim being turned toward the cover. Place the cover on top of the ark after depositing inside the ark the pact that I will give you. There I will meet with you, and I will impart to you from above the cover from between the 2 cherubim that are on the top of the ark of the pact. All that I will command you concerning the Israelite people. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
And then it keeps going. Yeah. I know it's I think this whole parsha is all about the construction of the tabernacle.
Right.
So
it is. Yeah.
Details. But if you can kind of picture the colors, I mean, especially the gold, the copper, the silver, and also there's 3 colors that come up again and again, and I believe it's crimson, purple, and blue. Is that the right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
think of those colors, and it must have been. In fact,
It must have been beautiful in the middle of the desert, you know.
yeah, absolutely.
You shall
So,
make a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, 1 cubit wide, and 1.5 cubits high. Overlay it with pure gold and make a gold molding around it. Make a rim of hand's breadth around it and make a gold molding for its.
Hang on, I think Dr. Ed wanted to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
well, I thought a lot about this, and this goes along with you, Michael Bodo.
Mhm.
Why would God say, I need all these things? You know, why does he say, I need gold, I need blue lapis, I need all of these things? And this is how exactly. What is the reason that we even spend the time during this? God is God. He can do whatever he wants. Doesn't need all this.
Well, I think the reason my feeling is that it's not for him. It's for us. We have to
Correct.
have something that's physical for us to kind of like attach to him in understanding that this tabernacle that he's building is going to be something that's going to be with us for a long time. So he wants to make it in specific, description so that we have something to hold on to. That's
Yeah,
how I look at it.
I have some things I wrote down.
Okay.
First of all, where did we just come from? Where did the Israelites just come? They just came from Egypt.
Right.
And they're used to seeing this over the top temples to their many, many gods. And this is all they understand. They're not educated people. And why he says this is what we need is an issue of leadership. First of all, he wants to give them direct dimensions. What he's doing here is that he's creating a two-way dialogue. So in Egypt, there wasn't a personal God. It was a God of the of multiple deities. But here it's a personal God in which he's telling them what to do and they're doing it. It's a two-way discussion, and that makes it personal for them. And third point I wrote down when I read this was they're giving of themselves, their wealth. They left Egypt with not a lot of possessions. Remember, gold and lapis, and it may be the only things that these people could have carried was around their neck. And what they did is they're giving away a piece of themselves, all that they have for a future land. They're putting it together in a tabernacle. So when they look at it, they can say, I am responding to God who responded to me, and I gave of myself to create this tabernacle, which I am part of. Anyway.
Wow, good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. You know, it reminded me of when you, at the end there, when you were saying that those things I'm giving myself, it actually, I feel like it kind of coincides with all the Israelites saying, whatever you say, we will do. That was last week's, right? They said it 2 or 3 times. Whatever you say, we will do it, Lord. You know, and that's fantastic. Gary, you're back. You're with us. You made it. And Cynthia,
I'm here. I'm more here physically than mentally, and I just fell outside on some ice. I almost
We
smashed
heard
my
about
head.
your flat tire and everything already.
But I almost just smashed my head open, though.
Oh, that's
That's even
awful.
worse.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is it icy out now?
totally.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's getting
Really
bad.
icy. Okay.
Yep.
Wow. So let's move on. We're at 25 on the bottom, right in this.
25. Okay. Make a rim of hand's breadth around it. Make a gold molding for its rim around about it. Make 4 gold rings for it and attach the rings to the 4 corners at its 4 legs. The ring shall be next to the rim as holders for poles to carry the table. Make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. By these the table shall be carried. Make its bowls, ladles, jars, and jugs from which to offer libations. Make them of pure gold. And on the table you shall set the bread of display to be before me always. This is really specific, okay. You shall make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand shall be made of hammered work. Its base and its shaft, its cups, calyxes, and petals shall be of one piece. 6 branches shall issue from its sides, 3 branches from one side of the lampstand, and 3 branches from the other side of the lampstand. On one branch there shall be 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with calyx and petals. And on the next branch there shall be 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with calyx and petals. So for all 6 branches issuing, wait a minute, from the lampstand. And on the lampstand itself, there shall be 4 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with calyx and petals. A calyx of one piece with it under a pair of branches, and a calyx of one piece with it under the second pair of branches, and a calyx of one piece with it under the last pair of branches. So for all 6 branches issuing from the lampstand, their calyxes and their stems shall be one piece with it, the whole of it single Hammond piece of pure gold. Make it 7 lamps. The lamp shall be so mounted as to give the light on its front side and its tongs.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is it now? This is not like what we would think of as the menorah, though, right? Because
This is the menorah.
is this the menorah? Okay.
Yeah.
But for the now for the Hanukkah, isn't there one candle in the middle?
All right, Michael, that's a great question.
It's not the same menorah. It's not the same menorah.
Wait. I'm going to give you 2 words. Word number 1 is menorah. Menorah has 6 branches.
Right.
3 on the right, 3 on the left, and the little shamus in the middle.
Right.
The one that we use for Hanukkah has got 8. So you got 4, and the little thing.
Shamus.
That one is called a Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's not what the one that they're doing right now, Michael,
It's the menorah.
it's just the menorah. It's nothing to do with Hanukkah.
The menorah. Gotcha. Wow. Okay.
So you've got the menorah and you've got the Hanukkah.
Nice. That's great. All right. And it's tongs, right? You want to keep going?
And its tongs and fire pans of pure gold. It shall be made with all these furnishings out of a talent of pure gold.
Ooh.
Note well and follow the patterns for them that are being shown you on the mountain. When he says pure gold, incidentally, there's many different types of gold. There's like 18 karat. There's like, I mean, what pure gold is this? Is it solid gold? I mean,
Okay, let me take a crack at it.
okay.
The menorah itself was actually made out, the whole thing was made out of gold. Whether
Okay.
94% or 98%, whatever.
Right. Okay.
The other parts that they were talking about is if you take gold and you pound it, you get these very, very thin little leaflets.
Yeah.
So if you have wood that has some kind of a pattern on it, you take these leaflets and you put on the gold, and it gives you the absolute perfect reproduction of what is in it. But to you, it looks like gold. That's the difference.
I understand. Okay. Very interesting.
And there is something on the bottom here about a talent, 39 on a talent, and it says it's
So
a
it's a weight.
kikar, right?
It's a weight. Yeah.
The largest.
It's a weight, yeah.
mentioned. Okay, it's the name related to the Ugaritic KK.
I don't understand that at all,
Okay,
but
so it was
anyways.
round shape. Yep. Estimates between 30 to 150 pounds, depending on how many shekels are assigned to a kikar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
You'd have to have known what the shekels were then. Okay, so where are we now? As for the tabernacle, is that where I'm starting? Okay.
yep.
As for the tabernacle, make it of 10 strips of cloth. Make these of fine twisted linen of blue, purple, and crimson yarns with a design of cherubim worked into them. The length of each cloth shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each cloth shall be 4 cubits. All the cloths to have the same measurements. 5 of the cloths shall be joined to one another, and the other 5 cloths shall be joined to one another. Make loops of blue wool on the edge of the outermost cloth of the one set, and do likewise on the edge of the outermost cloth of the other set. Make 50 loops on the one cloth and 50 loops on the edge of the end cloth of the other set, the loops to be opposite one another. And make 50 gold clasps and couple the cloths to one another with the clasps so that the tabernacle becomes one whole. Okay. Where are we now?
I'm sorry, we're at number 7. I kind of skipped around a little.
What? How did it go from that big number to 7? Okay. All right. You shall then make cloths of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. Make the cloths 11 in number. The length of each cloth shall be 30 cubits, and the width of each cloth shall be 4 cubits. The 11 cloths to have the same measurements. Join 5 of the cloths by themselves, and the other 6 cloths by themselves, and fold over the 6th cloth at the front of the tent. Make 50 loops on the edge of the outermost cloth of the one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the cloth on the other set. Make 50 copper clasps, fit the clasps into the loops, and couple the tent together so that it becomes one whole. As for the overlapping excess of the cloths of the tent, the extra half cloth shall overlap the back of the tabernacle, while the extra cubit at either end of each length of tent cloth shall hang down to the bottom of the 2 sides of the tabernacle and cover it. And make for the tent a covering of tanned ram skins and a covering of dolphin skins above. Before we go on, you know what I find interesting? You'd have to be an interior designer to do all this. I mean, if I'm a simple person, this is a lot. You know what I think? That's a lot to follow.
Right. I mean,
I have enough trouble following a simple sewing pattern. I can't imagine doing this. I'm really mean it. I'm thinking these are simple people. I don't know how they were able to do all this.
Yeah, okay. I think we're going to see where Moses assigns one person to be like the craftsman.
Oh, okay. So here we go.
Yeah.
You shall make the planks for the tabernacle of acacia wood upright. The length of each plank shall be 10 cubits, and the width of each plank 1.5 cubits. Each plank shall have 2 tenons parallel to each other. Do the same with all the planks of the tabernacle. Of the planks of the tabernacle, make 20 planks on the south side, making 40 silver sockets under the 20 planks, 2 sockets under the one plank for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under each following plank for its 2 tenons. And for the other side wall of the tabernacle on the north side, 20 planks with their 40 silver sockets, 2 sockets under the one plank and 2 sockets under each following plank. And for the rear of the tabernacle to the west, make 6 planks, and make 2 planks for the corners of the tabernacle at the rear. They shall match at the bottom and terminate alike at the top inside one ring. Thus shall it be with both of them. They shall form the 2 corners. Thus there shall be 80 planks with their sockets of silver 16 sockets, 2 sockets under the first plank and 2 sockets under each of the other planks. You shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the planks of the one side wall of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the planks of the other side wall of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the planks of the wall of the tabernacle or the rear to the west. The center bar halfway up the plank shall run from end to end. I'll overlay the planks with gold and make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. Then set up the tabernacle according to the manner of it that you were shown on the mountain. Wait, this is all done on the mountain.
Wow. What is that?
This is a lot.
What do you think that means? Do you think that God showed Moses how to make this on the mountain?
I don't know. I don't for some reason I don't remember all of this the last time I read it. I read it, but I don't remember. This is so much more than I remember.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's. I was trying to see. There was something I saw online, and I just wanted to show it to you because it kind of had some illustrations of how this would all work. But I don't have it up in front of me. I should have had this all planned out since I had all the time in the world. But anyway, does somebody else want to take a start?
Yeah, I'd like somebody else to take over.
It's a lot. How about Braca? Because Braca had her internet fixed, so maybe we can get
right.
Thank you. So at number 31, Braca.
You shall make a curtain of blue, purple, and crimson yarn and fine twisted linen. It shall have a design of cherubim worked with it. Hang it upon 4 posts of acacia wood overlaid with gold, and having hooks of gold in 4 sockets of silver. Hang the curtain under the clasps, and carry the ark of the pact there behind the curtain, so that the curtain shall serve you as a partition between the holy and the holy of holies. Place the cover upon the ark of the pact in the holy of holies. Place a table outside the curtain and the lampstand by the south wall of the tabernacle opposite the table, which is to be placed by the north wall. You shall make a screen for the entrance of the tent of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and fine twisted linen done in embroidery. Make 5 posts of acacia wood for the screen and overlay them with gold, their hooks being of gold, and cast for them 5 sockets of copper. You shall make the altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar is to be square and 3 cubits high. Make its horns on the 4 corners, the horns to be of one piece with it, and overlay it with copper. Make the pails for removing its ashes, as well as its scrapers, basins, flesh hooks, and fire pans. Make all its utensils of copper. Make for it a grating of meshwork in copper, and on the mesh make 4 copper rings at its 4 corners. Set the mesh below under the ledge of the altar, so that it extends to the middle of the altar. And make poles for the altar poles.
Okay, Braha, could you hold on for just 1 second? You know, guys, here's something that I was just thinking. If we take a look at 36, on the second line of 36, in here, they were using blue, purple, and crimson. Ever since, for the past 3,000 years, I suppose, we have only been using blue and white, or black and white. We never used purple and crimson.
That's true.
So, for example, the prayer shawl, the traditional one is white, you know, with the black stripes, or,
Right, or the blue.
or the blue one, which is called techelet, by the way. That's the proper
Right.
name, blue. But we have never used. Have you seen anything Jewish being?
Yeah, but there are crimson ones now. There are ones with red in more maroon like crimson.
Okay, but
I've seen them,
okay,
and
but,
they're still kosher.
but they must be very, very, very new.
Oh no, I mean you can get them in Israel because I used to be in the Judaica shop. Remember, I used to sell for the Judaica shop, and I sold a lot of the ones with the maroon color, the the
But
crimson.
what I'm talking about is, compared to 33,500 years, it's a relatively new phenomenon.
Oh well, I wasn't there then.
Neither was I, by the way. Maybe I
don't
looked
think
at
I
it,
was
but I
there.
wasn't there.
What? Where did they get the blue then?
Well, I think that Gary remembers that I actually gave a presentation of
Yeah, they
how
found
we,
it.
of how we used to make blue, which is called the techelet, and
Yep.
then the
Yeah.
Romans prohibited it. So for about 2,000 years, we lost the technology as to how to use it, and little by little, we found out it is actually made out of an animal that comes out from the sea.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a crab.
And you have to expose it to the sun, and then it becomes blue.
Right. The Israelis found it and they use
Yeah,
it
they're
now.
founded.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
It was found in Israel. I read a lot about that. Yeah.
So I'm just putting up one illustration of what this tabernacle might look like, and the bread for the presence is there. And I guess the Holy of the Holies is
Right. That's the Holy of
further
Holies.
in. Oh, and
Yeah.
you see there's a lot of talk about how it has to be on those poles, because it's always got to
Yeah.
be moved wherever the.
Can you imagine how what that must have been looked like in the desert? I mean, just think about that.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
really absolutely amazing to me.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's absolutely true. All right. What are we doing? Let's go back to this one. Okay. So, Baracha, if you want to continue. 27.
Yeah, I believe that the talit that has all the colors is a Sephardic one.
Oh.
Many of them do have, yes. Because we had one at home,
Ed,
so I know about it.
Ed, don't you have a non-traditional talit?
Yes, I do. My wife makes talit.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the
Oh.
talit. My wife makes talit, where she takes the measures out the material, and then she braids the tzitzis that she buys from Israel.
You have to have it at least 613, knots in it.
And they bite off the ends. You can't cut it. She bites off the ends. And in the front two are Sephardic, and I think it's the back two are Ashkenazic knots. She's, my wife is very talented, and she has both types of knots, and they're quite different. So for you in our temple, next time I wear my talit, you can see them and how the different knots, Sephardic versus Ashkenazi knots, are different. And we laugh about it. I call it the Yankee Talit Company, because she's the only Yankee who makes talits.
But that's interesting. All those knots have to be added up to 613. You know that, don't you?
Well, it's not knots, but something this and that. Yeah, she
yeah,
has
it has to, because it represents the 613 commandments. Yeah.
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 But yes, not mitzvot.
Mitzvot.
Yeah.
Well, commandments is mitzvot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Lord.
anyways,
Lord.
so anyway, so that's it. And then she makes special talit bags, and that should get Gary Gillette should laugh very hard, and so would Mike, because they're made for a special accessory to my talus.
Right.
So it all comes together.
Ah, good stuff. Yeah.
Right.
You know McGarry.
Bless you. Yes.
I wouldn't expect anything but unique from you, Ed, anyways.
Yeah.
Never, ever would I expect anything but. Okay.
Yeah, and right before, and that video of you playing the shofar, blowing the shofar, I think you had it on at that point, right? That was
Yes, I had it on. Yes, I had it. And we did it all kinds of public places, and you should have saw the reaction in the town center when I stood in the middle of the town center and blew the shofar. And we had to get it right, so I must have blown the shofar about 25 times so she got it right. So we got it right on camera. Mike, you know about those things.
Yeah.
And she said, but by I finished with that, I was out of breath, and the community thought they were being invaded from Mars.
Nice. All right, Baracha.
Right.
Continue.
So where are we?
27:1, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. You shall make the altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar is to be square and 3. We read that already.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we did. That's right. Oops, here we go.
So we're at the bottom. Make it hollow of boards as you were shown on the mountain, so that they shall be made. So shall they be made.
Yeah. And then this last part, number 9.
You shall make the enclosure of the tabernacle on the south side 100 cubits of hangings of fine twisted linen for the length of the enclosure on that side, with its 20 posts and their 20 sockets of copper, the hooks and bands of the posts to be of silver. Again, 100 cubits of hangings for its length along the north side, with its 20 posts and their 20 sockets of copper, the hooks and bands of the posts to be of silver. For the width of the enclosure on the west side, 50 cubits of hangings, with their 10 posts and their 10 sockets. For the width of the enclosure on the front or each side, 50 cubits. 15 cubits of hangings on the one flank, with their 3 posts and their 3 sockets. 15 cubits of hangings on the other flank, with her 3 posts and their 3 sockets. And for the gate of the enclosure, a screen of 20 cubits of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and fine twisted linen done in embroidery, with their 4 posts and their 4 sockets.
That's the tabernacle.
All the posts round the enclosure shall be banded with silver, and their hooks shall be of silver. Their sockets shall be of copper. The length of the enclosure shall be 100 cubits, and the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits, with hangings of fine twisted linen. The sockets shall be of copper. All the utensils of the tabernacle for all its service, as well as all its pegs, and all the pegs of the cord shall be of copper.
Yeah, so that's one different artist rendering of it, where you see the tent. We had a picture of that earlier. The tent of meeting would be in the enclosure, and just what we talked about, what it came about was those front gates that had the blue and purple and crimson. I believe that was on the front of that. Yeah, that's, and this I think is a Christian website, but many Christians are always looking at the Hebrew Bible, which we call the Old Testament, and it's all good. Any other thoughts?
Is that the end? Oh,
No, I don't
no.
think so.
I was just going to say, I didn't think.
Oh, I was just gonna ask. No, it is the end. What? It is the end. Wow.
Oh, wow.
The question I had though was, where else have we seen this important details of the cubits and the measurements and everything else? It just reminded me of this the last couple of.
Noah's
Oh,
Ark.
we didn't. Noah's Ark, yeah.
Yeah, Noah's Ark.
And the priestly garments, kind of, too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, can somebody tell me what the actual word teruma means in Hebrew? I don't know what that
Donation or offerings.
Yeah.
Offering
Oh,
or a
okay.
donation.
means. Okay,
Teruma?
thank you.
Okay. Wow. Nice. So that concludes this week's Parsha. And there's the ark, lampstand, tent, and altar. So
So Michael, you can see that the word Mishkan, according to this thing, is a dwelling. See it right there?
the tabernacle, dwelling, or tent.
Or a
And to all-
tent, yeah.
Remember, too, that a lot of the donations and offerings that you make, in the Torah, for the building of the Mishkan specifies all these objects and everything. But what's also important is what you give of yourself, of your abilities, of your mind,
Sure.
of your whatever your gift is. That's your light that has to shine. It's like the Mishkan represents physically. It represents everybody's giving to God, to have God dwell amongst them. It's like God gives all these details and specific instructions, and it's like for performing that task exactly as instructed, God rewards us by dwelling among us. but the physical structure is like, you know, we look at our own synagogues or a church or whatever. What is our synagogue? It exists because of everything that people donate to it, whether it's their money, their time, ability, different types of abilities and everything. It's the sum total of everybody's, you know, it's a physical thing. It's really like incredible, like to think about it.
Right.
Well, and one thing that I think that, you know, following on what Gary has just said, one of the verses in the Bible says, let them build me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them.
Mm-hmm.
And could I mention one other thing this is something, you know, when I used to get to lead services on Fridays and during the summer, I've done a lot of devars. And I used to talk about, there was a commentary I had read where the specific wording in the Torah. Dr. Mike, you might have heard me talk about this, and Mike and Ruth,
Yes,
you might
yes,
have too.
yes, I do remember.
Yeah, the Torah doesn't say to Moses, speak to the children of Israel and have them give me gifts. So that it says, have them take from me a gift. Because God understands that people would have, when you say take, people would have more of a tendency to take something than to give something. And in this particular commentary I read, it had this story about a guy that was out at sea, and he was on this boat, and the boat capsized, and he was drowning, and it was stormy and everything. And this other guy comes along in a boat. Now, this guy that capsized in the boat was somebody who never gave anything to anybody, never believed in giving of anything. So the guy in the other boat sees him, and he yells out to him, give me your hand. And the guy hears the word give, and he yells back, no, I don't give, you know. The guy, you know, so the guy says to him again, you know, the guy's dry, he says, give me your hand. And the guy says, no, I don't give. So then the guy said, take my hand. And the guy took his hand.
I remember.
So that's right. And that's why in this commentary that I read, but that's why in the commentary, this rabbi said that that's why the Torah worded it like that, because God understands, you know, human nature.
That's very
God said,
good. I
have
like
them
that.
take from me.
I like that. I'm going to remember that.
That's the exact wording in the Torah, though. Have them take from me,
Oh, right.
you know, the offerings or the gifts of their, you know, donate, so that I
Pretty
build
cool.
a sanctuary.
Yeah.
I just,
Michael, since you're capable of going into Google,
Mm-hmm.
you can Google the Arch of Titus. In there, they have a depiction of the menorah that they were carrying out of the second temple when they destroyed it. Remember?
Oh, right. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that was.
And you can actually see what the
You'll notice also, Mike, if you ever go to any temple that shows a menorah in front of their temple building, it's always the menorah that has the 6
Right.
candles, not the 8. It's always the 6.
No, because the 8 is not a menorah.
The 8 is a Hanukkah, right?
It's a
We know
Hanukkah.
that. Yeah. But I'm just talking because Mike doesn't know. That was why.
Oh, Michael knows everything. What are you kidding?
No, Mike
But
knows
Mike-
more than me. I know. Mike knows much more than me. But I'm
But
just saying
Michael-
that one thing we were talking about.
We saw those carvings in Israel of the
Yeah.
menorahs.
Right, all over
right.
the place,
That's
right,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
When I was in Israel, I remember it too, yeah. So you see how it's
Mhm.
6, Mike, you see the
Yep.
menorah, it's 6.
Oh, I see. Yep. And that's the destruction. The second destruction, was that it?
Yeah, the destruction of the second temple by the road.
Right.
Wow. Jeez.
And what you see in there is that they're carrying out a whole bunch of things. One of them is the menorah.
Right.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you see, you got 3, and then the little thing in the middle, which is called the shamus or the director.
It's the one that lights the other 6.
It's the one that lights the other ones. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to me too. Like after the temple's destroyed, the Jews continue on. I mean, that's like, my gosh. I mean, that's always just such a the faith.
didn't the menorah had to be made out of all one piece, isn't it? Doesn't it say that in the Torah?
In gold.
Mhm.
In
Yeah,
gold,
and but in other
gold,
words, it's all one piece. Like it's not supposed to be like separate pieces put
right,
together.
it was carved out
It's
of one
supposed
piece.
to-
They talked about
One
that,
piece.
Mhm.
Yep,
Absolutely.
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
Right. So unfortunately, Gary, you weren't here in the beginning, and I mentioned that both Ed and I are in the Purim Spiel, and next Monday night we have a rehearsal at the same time of your Torah study.
So maybe we'll do it Tuesday night.
We
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
Do
I
that.
like that. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. Look at that guy behind Ed.
Yeah, Ned, he's a happy farmer. That's great. So that was your harvest last year?
That was my harvest last year. I went up to Maine, way up north in Maine, and I bought waders. And I bought waders. And when we got in to harvest the cranberries and push them into the machine that sucks all the cranberries into the trucks and to sorts them, my son and I got in. And you got to be very careful on the waders, because one wrong step and you go down and your waders fill up with water.
Oh my gosh.
Drowned by your waders.
Well, yeah.
Now,
which happened.
wait a minute. Is that Elaine behind you?
No, that's my son, Jonathan.
With the
Oh, it
beard.
looks like a woman, I thought. Okay.
No, Elaine
With
would
the
never
beaver?
get in with snakes and eels and other critters.
Wow. 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 Wow.
But that's, everybody should do that once.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So Mike Bodo, what is your shoe size?
Number 10.
Well, maybe
10.
we have waders for you for
Oh,
next.
whoa. Well, look out. Do Torah right out there in the water. Nice. That's excellent.
Well, I can't wait for the summer. Let's
I
hope that
know.
we can all get together in the
Oh my
summer.
gosh. Yeah, let's hope for that. I'm so glad Gary made it home.
The Barucha can fly up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annie got home too.
Did
She
she?
got home.
Yeah,
a
so
while ago.
and Mike
Yeah.
can fly up too.
That's right.
Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike, yeah. Well, it's a wonderful night, guys. I love
Thank you
our
so much.
studies. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for leading. Thank you, Gary, for coming back
Yeah.
safe and
Yeah,
sound.
exactly. We were worried about you. That's unbelievable. So glad you're home. Everyone's safe. Stay safe tonight. Tomorrow morning.
Stay safe, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good,
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Good
God
night.
bless.
Night.
We'll see you
Good
next
night.
week. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.